Coming up on this episode, I'm joined by Rebecca Prejean, a creative rebel using art, design, and empathy to make corporate training accessible for neurodivergent humans. From wild turkeys to egg carving, this powerful episode is a reminder that when we make space for others, we change the world. Welcome to the Rebel Rebel.
This episode of the Rebel Rebel is brought to you by my book, Brand Jitsu. All right, forget brand theory. This is branding that punches above its weight. After 25 years helping artists, entrepreneurs, and businesses stand out, I wrote Brand Jitsu. Move your brand from meh to memorable. It's the real stuff, story, strategy, and sharp positioning that makes people pay attention. Find it at your favorite bookstore or online at brandjitsu.com.
Welcome to the Rebel Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargie, and somewhere around the world, we're going to find out where. Please welcome to the show, Rebecca Prejean. How are you, Rebecca?
Very, very good. Super happy to be here. Excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you as well. I can't wait. Where in the world are you-ish?
I am right outside of Austin, Texas, in a very small kind of country town called Manor.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We
nice.
have wild turkeys. We have some roaming cows.
That sounds amazing.
It's different. That's what I call it. It's different.
All right. Well, we're going to unpack that a little bit later. Well, let me ask you this question. What do you do for the world right now? Like, what's sort of your thing that you're up to?
Right now, I essentially bring the beauty of neurodivergent people to corporate America. And it sounds a whole lot more grand than what it is. But in a nutshell, I create e-learnings, graphics, videos, animations, illustrations for corporate people, for training and e-learnings. But I do it in a way so that anybody, people who are neurodivergent, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, all of those things can actually use the training.
Wow.
And be successful.
That's awesome.
I love it.
No kidding. Well, okay. So let's back up a step. Why?
The why really for me, I'm a mom, and this particular step of my journey really started with him. Before he was even born, we were told that he was broken. We actually were told he wouldn't walk and he wouldn't talk because clinically he has hydrocephalus. And that's when you have extra fluid in your brain. So everybody has fluid in their ventricles. Yeah. He just in utero had an extreme amount.
Oh, wow. And
so I was 24 weeks and they told us he would be essentially a vegetable.
Oh my God.
Or whatnot. But he was born, he walks, he talks, all the things. And then when he was about 3, we found out he has autism. I knew when he was probably about 1. He was autistic, to be honest with you. But we as a family really struggled to find resources. We struggled to find spaces for him to fit in. We've just struggled all around. Yeah. And I was doing learning and development already. I was training people, in different companies, different startups. And as I started to really learn more about him and kind of what his experience was and seeing all these barriers that were put up, it's like the light bulb went off. And it's like, these are just adult versions of the little human I have at home.
Oh my God.
Like they're acting exactly like him, just, 20 years down the road. And I'm like, these are the people who need our support and we're not supporting them at all. Wow. I'm seeing it play out in real life in my own family.
Yeah.
This is the experience that these people are having. And so for me, it became just a real push and a real pull for me to want to make spaces for people who are like him, if nothing else, because he will be 18 one day. He's only 9 right now. So we've got 9 more years. It feels like an eternity. But at some point he'll be 18 and I want him to have all the choices. I want him to, if he wants to be a chef, if he wants to be a construction worker, if he wants to be a writer, if he wants to host a podcast one day, I want him to be able to do all the things he wants. But he cannot do that if we don't create the spaces for him.
Wow. Holy moly. That is awesome. Thanks for taking that on. That's so cool.
He's absolutely, I tell people, having him, people say, having kids changes you. He's absolutely changed me. And changed my goals, changed my thought process. If somebody had told me I'd be doing my job 10 years ago, I'd be like, you're crazy. I wasn't even thinking I was going to have kids, let alone this job.
Oh my God. Well, so let's go back even further in time. And I mean, you are clearly a creative rebel. You fit the show motto perfectly. And, thinking audaciously and acting courageously in the service of making the world a better and more interesting place, I think is right down your fairway. And I'm curious whether, young Rebecca, 5-year-old Rebecca, 10-year-old Rebecca knew that this was, you're built different.
I always knew I was built different because I always just said what I had to say. I was always getting in trouble with my parents, my teachers, just everybody, because I used to just say what was ever on my mind and had very little of a filter. And it really was a problem. Oh, but the way that I live my life now is so different. I never could have imagined I would be an artist. I've been drawing since I was 5,
Yeah.
honestly, like before I couldn't even remember. Like I always was drawing. I was always painting. Like that was my outlet.
Right.
I wasn't a huge extrovert or anything. So art became, for lack of a better term, my shield. I knew my art would never reject me. It's inanimate. So I had no fear of it whatsoever. But when I graduated high school, to give you an idea, I thought I was going to be a cardiovascular surgeon.
Whoa.
Terrible in science and math, but somehow I thought I would be a surgeon. I
Well,
don't know
why
how
not?
I figured that out. So I had very different academic goals from the way I live my life. And I like to tell people, the path we choose sometimes can be so weird and so winding, and you end up in this beautiful place. Like I graduated high school and really didn't know what I was going to do.
Oh my gosh.
When the surgeon thing just clearly did work out for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
science and math.
Yeah. Oh
So,
boy. Uh, Geez. Like a surgeon of all things.
yeah. And very specific surgeon,
Yeah.
cardiovascular.
Yeah. Like what my goodness. Uh, it's funny how life takes us on these twists and turns. Yeah. Oh my God. Um, I want to ask another question. Okay, so let's get back to you. Um, um, what is your favorite medium for art?
Oh God, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Um, I would probably say, this sounds so boring, but colored pencil, believe it
Really?
or not, is probably my favorite.
No, I buy that.
Um, and I guess it's because you can have like the hard and the soft variation, and you can really create a lot of different, I would say, just variations in texture and look and feel with
Right.
just them. There's a lot of other really cool mediums that are out there, obviously, but for me, that's always been my favorite.
Do you have a
Oh
hand sharpener or an electric one?
no, I have a hand sharpener.
A hand
I do
sharpener?
hand always.
Is it
I'm old
one?
school.
Is it one of the best smells in the world? Is
Yes.
sharpening?
Wood, yes.
Right.
Which makes it sound so weird and like just so off the wall. But
If
it
you
is one of the most refreshing smells on the planet. It
if you
just,
if you know, you know.
if you know, you know. It's something, to me, it's kind of like a new pencil smell. Like
Yes.
it's something about new colored pencil smells that it's like a new car smell. It's just, it's so
Totally is.
refreshing.
I kind
You're
of
so wild.
right. Like yeah, there's I want to say it's Prisma. They're the kind that I used to get.
Yes.
And
I'm a huge Prisma fan. Super expensive,
yeah,
but
break
worth
open
it.
that box.
Every penny.
Yeah.
Every penny.
My goodness. What's your favorite thing to draw?
Right now I'm really into chameleons, but in general, I'm a huge wildlife person. Like
Oh, cool.
I never really was keen on people. So my older brother, he draws as well, but he does people. So he was
Okay.
always doing like portraits of like himself, his kids, my parents, like always did portraits.
Yeah.
And I just did wildlife. So I grew up drawing horses. That
Ah.
was probably my favorite subject matter. And then as I got older, I like to draw like jungle cats. cats. So lots of tigers, lots of lions, lots of wild cats, all these things that I've never seen,
Oh,
except in the zoo.
yeah.
And then just over the last few years, I dropped off a little bit, but over the last few years, I've gotten into more small things. So, like chameleons, like butterflies, just, I guess you could say, almost more intimate nature
Yeah.
in some ways. And I think it almost reflects a lot of the work that I currently do. It, it just feels more homing to me.
So let's dive into that. What do you mean by that?
In terms of, you know, artwork and just more intimate, I feel like, we'll take chameleons for example. I feel like they're a much more intimate animal because you can look at different animals and kind of guess at how they feel. Chameleons kind of show that in what's happening with them, right? Whether they're
Yeah.
upside down, whether they're different colors, all these different things. I feel like they are just a much more intimate, get to know you type of creature. And I mean, that's what I advocate for on a daily basis.
Wow.
Are people who they're not always seen, they're definitely there, right? And they just often go overlooked a lot. And I
Yeah.
feel like the same thing can be said of chameleons.
Huh. How do you tell that story?
The
Like the
chameleon story, or
no, no, you just, I thought that was a great way to, I was just thinking about your neurodivergent humans that you're helping, and how do you help tell their story, I guess, in a way that people get it and then they can get it themselves.
for me, it was very hard to tell that story because I'm not neurodivergent, right? I have that lived experience through my own child. And so I've always been really sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, at a certain point, I really had a problem telling my own personal story. Like I never talked about my son. I never really mentioned him a lot. He was just very walled off, not
Yeah.
because I was ashamed of him or our story, but protective.
Right.
Um, because it's just a very different place to be,
Sure.
to live that life. But as I've kind of gone through and thought of some different things, I'm just more cognizant about being very authentic about it and being very real about it. We as a family, I don't talk about this often. Like as a family, we did not work, we did not work out. Like I was married to his father. We did not work out, and it wasn't because we didn't care, we didn't try. The pressures of
Mm.
having a child was different, and all of the things that came with it really did just we just cratered.
Yeah, sure.
And so when I'm talking about the people I advocate for, things like that, those are the things that stick to me in my mind. If it was so difficult for us as a family, and we're not trying to find Ethan a job, we're not, trying to get him to make money, we're not trying to do anything but have him live a happy childhood.
Yeah.
Trying to equate that or think about that in the context of an adult who doesn't necessarily have people around them to be the safety net
Yeah.
sometimes, who doesn't have the luxury of not working, who has to try to fit into these corporate environments. It's a very different feel for me. And so I've really just taken a lot of that lived experience and the empathy that I have for my own child and the definite advocacy fight that we deal with on a regular basis with him into, my
Yeah.
corporate world.
Is it have you always lived in Texas?
I have not always lived in Texas. Texas is definitely ground zero, so to speak. But my father was in the military. So we grew up as Army children. I was actually born in California, right outside of Monterey on
Yeah.
an Army base. And then we moved overseas. And so we lived in Germany for a while, lived in a couple of other places. And then when he retired back in Texas. And so,
Gotcha.
I went to high school here, went to middle school here, but I moved when I graduated. I went to Florida. Um,
Woo.
Thinking, oh, beautiful beaches. And honestly, they do have gorgeous beaches,
Yeah.
but I decided to be a free spirit for a while and just kind of see what the world had. And I do think that has helped me as well in
Yeah.
life because my parents weren't there. Like there was nobody. And so you really start to understand a life that I couldn't have conceptualized before at all.
How important do you think travel is? I want to say even like global travel to the human condition.
I think it's really important for a lot of reasons. And I think, if, in all transparency, if we're going to be honest today, it's sorely lacking
Yeah.
because it gives you a different context. You know, here in the US, especially, we have a very specific context. We look at things a very specific way. It's very linear. It's just very, this is the world. And when you step outside of that, it's so different. Different structures, different history, different personalities, different etiquette, different ways of speaking, different knowledge, different understanding, different contexts. It opens you up to so much more than this
Yeah.
one tiny little sphere. And I do think as humans, we tend to get so isolated in our minds and so, self-absorbed.
Yeah.
It really does help to see other people in different situations from what we've lived in. I am not ashamed to say my parents we were pretty decent off. Were we rich? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
My dad owned his own business for years at a certain point, and they did well. And so while we weren't rich, we definitely weren't struggling. And there were like five of us in the house. There were a
Wow.
lot of us
Yeah.
home. And so now, as I've gotten older and I've lived and I've seen different things, I know how fortunate we were and how fortunate we are,
Yeah.
and how fortunate I am as an adult. And I think that changes the way I look at so many things.
What's one of your favorite places to go? Like, you don't have to have the favorite, but like, what's a?
I don't have the favorite. Um, Ironically, it is still Florida.
Okay.
I actually really do like the Tampa area, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater,
Gotcha.
because it's a little small. It's not
Mhm.
as big as like a large kind of metro or whatever, and it's just a little bit more homey and close knit. And I do like that feel.
Yeah.
Um, if I had to pick a place to visit, I'd probably want to just visit some places in Canada.
Come on up.
I'm like, everybody I meet from Canada is always super nice. I know so many people up there now do business, and everybody just has that same vibe about them. Really, just nice, down to earth people. Like, it's just completely different.
Aw, shucks.
It's so different. I'm like, I want to go to Canada
Yeah, come on up. We'd love to have you.
about it.
That's awesome. Um, is music a part of your world?
Yes. Music's a very big part of my world and always has been. Um, my parents like music. I remember we would drive to visit their family in like Louisiana and like the border that's over there, and the whole car ride. I'm going to take us back for a minute. My dad would be playing cassette tapes.
Uh-huh.
And when the cassette tape ran out, we didn't have a fancy one for a while, so we'd have to take it out and put it back in the other side. But they always did that. Every single time it was like a 4-hour drive. And so that's just kind of how that was. But even when I went to school, when I was in middle school, I played an instrument. I was in band all through middle school, all through
Nice.
high school. Um, and I still listen to a lot of music today. Even when I am working, there's usually music playing. If I am zoning out, there's music playing. There's always something playing in my headphones. And I'm sure the next logical question is, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
Things.
You go right ahead and read ahead. This is perfect. Yeah.
It's
What's your
nerdy
jam?
things. It's like music soundtracks and um, things like that. I like a lot of just orchestral music.
Okay.
That really does make me happy. It relaxes me. I love the sound of violins. I can't play a violin. Don't ask.
I was going to ask, what was your instrument?
I played the saxophone and the clarinet
Damn. Those are
and
great instruments.
the bassoon for 1 year. The bassoon's wild. Playing this.
Yeah. That little tiny reed, like.
The little tiny reed, and it's a double reed, and it's a horribly awkward to hold instrument. But I had a completely ulterior motive for wanting to learn.
Oh.
It was my senior year in high school, and I begged my band director. I was like, if I learn the bassoon, can we play Peter and the Wolf?
Oh, that fair. Yeah. Dum 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 dum.
Yep. And I will say I did not get to play Peter and the Wolf because I did not get that good that fast. But but it was an interesting adventure, is what I tell people. And like I said, I love that piece of music, but I love music.
Yeah.
It is a way to really escape some of the different things that are out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, things weren't as chaotic. Now I'm older. Things are definitely a little wonky and weird
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And so it's nice to just think of yourself in another place. I'm a huge fan, like I said, of movie soundtracks
Yeah.
and TV show soundtracks.
Okay.
So,
That's really cool. Yeah, that would whisk you away. I ended up in Seattle. I used to go down there quite a bit for work.
oh, cool.
And I wish I could remember the name of the place, but there's like this little sort of blues quarter in Seattle, and there's like this little tiny itty bitty slice of a speakeasy, almost like a bar in this wall. And I'm sitting there and I'm having a cocktail, and somebody is up on stage. They're doing something. It's like a couple people, and it's um, just blues happening, right? Then you look along the wall and you start seeing like all these famous people that have played on this stage, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm in one of these little tiny meccas of music that just show up,
Yeah.
and it,
That about Seattle.
yeah, like crazy, crazy scene. I was like, huh, who knew? Yeah.
Like, surprise.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good surprise. Hey, let's say for a second, you're out there in you're you're walking, you're out for a walk. And I imagine there's a wild turkey that crosses your path at some point, based on what you've said earlier.
Yes.
Blue sky, maybe one white fluffy cloud. I'm going to go with an armadillo is probably somewhere around. But I could just be stereotyping Texas.
Awesome.
A possum. Okay, there we go. So this possum and a turkey. No, so yeah. So here's the thing, Rebecca, is if there, as you're walking, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, Rebecca, I just wish the world knew this one thing. What is the one thing that you wish the world knew?
Profound. If I had to choose one thing I would want the world to know, it's that we're all people first. And it seems so simple and it seems like something we should all know, but we just don't.
Yeah.
And I think that as the years have gone on, we just have forgotten that everybody is a person first. There is a human present, there are feelings present, there are thoughts present. And even if I don't agree with every single thing that somebody says, I should be able to recognize them as a human and at least hear them out, even if I don't agree. And I might not end up agreeing. It's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
Like that is life. We go to work and we don't like everybody that we work with. We don't like every single person that we meet, but that's okay. It The world does not stop if not everybody likes you and not everybody agrees with you. We don't have to get to the point where we dehumanize people because they're different.
Hell yeah.
And that is the one thing I would want people to know. People are people first. The human connection is, I think, the most important.
I love that. That's an outstanding answer. Thank you. What's the one thing that you haven't done yet that you definitely need to do?
That I haven't done yet that I definitely need to do. Oh,
Yeah.
there's so many.
So is there one thing that just pops into your mind? They're just like, oh yeah, that thing.
Probably launch my podcast.
Get on it.
Like, it has been 2 years in the making, and there are definitely things happening in the background. There are definitely interviews happening in the background, and I just haven't taken the leap yet because it's scary.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is an introvert, it's even more scary. And I often think, even if I'm in a business place and it's adults that I'm dealing with and it's adult issues I'm dealing with, I always think about my child first.
Right.
Like, what will he think of this in a few years? What will he think about the way I portray him in a few years? Like, those things I'm always cognizant about. And
Sure.
so, you know, you always want to talk about your personal life. You want to do those things. And I want to make sure I do it in a way that is respectful and kind and thinks about him. Like I
Yeah.
said, 5 to 10 years, because I don't want him ever to feel like he's a burden or he was, you know, a problem or an issue or any of those things. And so I think that is definitely something in the back of my mind. Um, but that would be something I absolutely need to do.
Get
But
on
I
it.
haven't done yet.
The world needs more Rebecca. Rebecca.
Oh, thank you. I like to think so sometimes, but then I'm a bit much even for myself. So I don't know.
Well, you get to put out as much or as little as you like. That's the nice part about this.
It's true. I
Yeah,
had that like that.
you're in control.
True statement. I don't
Mm.
always, in life, we don't always feel like we're in control. And sometimes, as business owners, we don't feel like we're in control. As creatives, sometimes we don't feel like we're in control.
Nope.
Like I just flit on, and it's just in the creative nature. It's like on to the next thing to make or
Yeah,
whatever.
totally.
It's just completely wild. I think the craziest thing I've ever done, like I took up egg carving. Um,
You took up what?
egg carving.
Egg carving. Okay. Is that like Fabergé egg? Like, is that like egg? Like, what are we?
Think emu eggs or ostrich eggs
Oh my
that you,
God.
that you carve with a Dremel.
That is so cool.
Like the creative is strong. We go, as you know, sometimes creatives, we go into these weird places. And I remember I was looking online, for just things to do. And I've done wood carving before and things like that. And I was like, well, I'm tired of wood carving and I'm a little allergic to certain types of wood.
Okay.
So I'm tired of this. And I looked up stuff and they were talking about egg carving. And so you can actually buy emu and ostrich eggs that are ready to go for carving on like
Wow.
Etsy
Oh my God.
and Amazon. It's wild.
We'll put some links down in the show notes for people that are just like, where has this been all my life?
Where has it been and why can't I need to go find it?
Right?
It's a real thing. They have like real exhibitions. They have like real expos. Like it is a whole community
Wow.
of egg carvers.
So wild. My God, I gotta go Google this after we're done.
Told you, I'm a little off the beaten path.
Thanks for the rabbit hole, Rebecca.
I will apologize because I'm sure at some point you'll be like, "Oh my gosh," and just keep going because they do so many crazy things,
Wow.
which is something as simple as an egg.
So cool. All right. Egg carving. Crazy. Um, there's these people in the world, Rebecca. We call them rebels in waiting. Now, these people are maybe they're just about to start a rebellion, maybe in the middle of it and are just like, I don't know how to keep going because this is not like anything anybody has ever done before. What advice do you have for these people to help them get to where they're going?
Remember, the rebellion is never about you. It's never about you. Nobody starts a rebellion usually because of themselves.
I love
Might
it.
be a small catalyst in that, but there's always something outside of yourself that drove you to that point in the first place. Because you didn't just get indignant about yourself. Like when you look at even what I do, I didn't get indignant about myself.
Yeah.
I got indignant for Ethan to start, and then it became a larger thing because it's like, it's not just this one person. It's these people over here and these people over here. It's systemic,
Yeah.
it's broader. The rebellion is never about you as the individual, it's always about the larger picture, it's always about the system, and it's always about people outside of yourself. So when you look at it that way, you have to go do the thing because like you're not doing it just for you. You're doing it so that other people can get the things that they need. Like
Yeah.
everyone deserves that.
I love that. Such a great answer. Thank you. Rebecca, where can people learn more about you and what you do?
all the places. Primarily LinkedIn right now is a very good place to connect with me, follow me, that kind of thing. I do post on LinkedIn, talk a lot about Ethan. So if you're ever wondering his adventures, they're probably on there. And then, of course, people can reach out to me through my website, www.ebgc.net. I will be putting out a podcast, hopefully in the next 30 days. The Quirk Factory, where quirks make us work. So please feel free, again, connect on LinkedIn. I'm going to drop all the details there and, the launch dates and everything.
Love it. Rebecca, this has been extraordinary. Thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad you had me.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Hey, if you're an artist, scientist, entrepreneur, or business owner who wants a smooth and proven method to find, shape, and share your story with the world, head on over to brandjitsu.com and order a copy of my book, Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable. I've been your host, Michael Dargie, and this has been the Rebel Podcast. It's a podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs all over the world. And hey, if you're a rebel or you know a rebel, head on over to therebelrebelpodcast.com and fill out the guest request form. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.